filmmakers and film fans, welcome to Ben on Film. Today's question is a fun one. Where do movies get old cars for their shoots? If you've ever watched a period film or a scene packed with vintage cars, you might wonder where filmmakers track them down. Well, there's more to it than you think. One of the most common ways movies get old cars is from private collectors. These are people who own and restore vintage vehicles as a hobby. Filmmakers will either rent the cars directly from these collectors or work through companies that specialize in vintage car rentals. For example, if you're shooting a scene set in the 1960s, you might connect with a collector who owns a fleet of classic Mustangs or Cadillacs. These cars can be showpieces in the film, and collectors often love seeing their prized possessions on the big screen. There are companies that focus exclusively on renting out old cars for movies, TV shows, and commercials. A great example is Cinema Vehicles, one of the largest suppliers of vehicles for film and television. These companies often have massive warehouses filled with everything from 1920s roadsters to 1980s muscle cars. Directors and production designers can browse their inventory to find the perfect cars for their scene. Another great resource is local car clubs and events. When a production needs a specific type of car, or a lot of them, for a big crowd scene, they'll usually reach out to enthusiasts. For example, in movies like Ford vs. Ferrari, filmmakers worked with car clubs to source vehicles for race scenes. It's a win-win. The filmmakers get authentic cars, and the owners get to see their cars immortalized on screen. Sometimes the old cars you see on screen aren't as old as they look. Studios have prop departments and skilled craftsmen who can build replicas of vintage cars or modify existing vehicles to match the time period. For example, if a scene calls for a car to be destroyed or heavily damaged, filmmakers will often use replicas or non-functional shells instead of rare, irreplaceable originals. Filmmakers also source old cars from auctions and junkyards. These cars can often be used as background vehicles for large scenes, like a 1970s street setting. They don't need to be in pristine condition, just period appropriate. If a production has a smaller budget, junkyards can be gold mines for finding cars that just need a little TLC before hitting the screen. Sometimes the cars in movies can have incredible stories behind them. The DeLorean in Back to the Future was a futuristic design that perfectly suited the story. The production team sourced and modified a real DeLorean to create one of the most iconic movie cars ever. For Mad Max Fury Road, many of the vehicles were custom built from scratch to create their post-apocalyptic look. Every car has a journey before it makes it into the big screen. It's part of what makes filmmaking so magical. Using old cars isn't always smooth sailing either. Vintage vehicles can break down, require constant maintenance, or have limited availability. Productions often hire on-set mechanics to keep these cars running during filming. When it comes to old cars, the motto is expect the unexpected. So where do movies get old cars? Whether it's private collectors, specialty companies, or even junkyards, filmmakers have plenty of ways to bring history to life on the screen. And every car you see has its own unique story, just like the movies themselves. What's your favorite movie car? Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Ben on Film.